Alright, stand by. Stand by CG3 to VONA with Angie's mic. Hit it.
Count on LEX 18 News.
VOA, Mike Angie. Wipe into Phoenix, staying with Angie's mic.
At Bluegrass Airport, why planes will be grounded for 3 days this summer, and what to know if you're planning a trip.
Here's B.
Plus, mark down
Wipe into
Memorial
VONC
Day
next
on
with
your
Larry's
calendar,
mic.
what that date means for COVID-19 restrictions in the Commonwealth.
Here's C, Mike Larry. Stand by CG3 to a split.
Kentucky's lieutenant governor addresses the controversy over text she sent to help people get their checks.
Hit it.
Evening edition starts now.
Split is hot. And splits up.
Good evening. I'm
CG3 is clear. Stand by for Larry to turn to 2.
On Evening Edition.
Well, if you are planning to fly this August, you do want to check your schedule carefully. Bluegrass Airport will be shutting down for 72 hours to complete
Stand by for Larry to turn to 2.
project on the runway.
The announcement got us wondering just how much will this cost and who's picking up the bill and why is the work necessary in the first place? Well, tonight's
okay.
Evening Edition's Michael
It's
Berg
alright.
is
Stand by
taking an
CG3 to
in-depth
package in
look
D.
at those 3 days in August when all flights in and out of Lexington will be
Hit it. And track D.
For 3 days in August, you won't be
CG3 is clear. Yeah, I was looking to see where you stood to turn, but there was no, I guess.
Our 7,000-foot runway can get you anywhere in the world.
Yeah, there wasn't like a impromptu. There wasn't a cue for him to turn, so he probably just kept staring, and I went along with him. Yep, that's all that matters. All right, so that's all right. You'll be on 2 next.
And that is 100%
All right, so I'll use that CG2 here for this next hit on camera 2 with Larry.
Out of here from 6 p.m. on August 19th through 6 p.m. on the 22nd. And that'll come with a big hit to the airport too.
There's about a $30,000 to $35,000 impact per day to the airport, but that doesn't include any of our on-site partners here, like the airlines or any of the folks that operate. We all operate separately.
People like Uber driver Rick Bates.
My biggest draw is out of here, yeah. Average about 100, 110. Yeah.
Rick says he'll look to make up the difference using more downtown routes. Air and ground traffic controllers will
All right,
likely work
2.
during this time, even helping to
You'll be on 2
ensure that
next.
runway markings are done as needed.
I can't hear
But
what he's
so many
saying.
others will have something else on their minds when thinking about this work, and it's timing.
Of course, it's only natural for this repaving project to conjure up some horrible memories with Flight 5191.
There was a point for you to
That
turn
flight
to that toss,
taxiing to the correct runway here.
but I was just playing along, waiting for you, and I just held on to the 2 shots. It's okay. It was clean. It's all good.
Last repaving project.
But you'll be on 2 next.
The pilots had missed some markings and had unfortunately gotten on the wrong runway. We're super sensitive to that, knowing this is the 15-year anniversary.
Amy noted that that runway no longer exists here.
Oh, it's all right. You just stand by. It's all good.
This is the strip that remains. It's to her facelift.
Runways are most important.
It'll look rather have clean than look messy. It's all right.
Michael Burke for Evening Edition.
And camera
Well,
2.
here's something you might find helpful if you've already booked a flight. Airlines will be able to help
Going to
you with
VONA?
your schedule. First, we're told
VOA?
the airport chose middle of
Alright,
August because
I'm done with that
it's the least
CG2.
busy
SOT and B will be
airport
next.
travel in and out of Lexington.
Thank you for
That's even with
CG4.
college
Or
students
CG2, I'm
returning
sorry.
or heading out of state for
Too many
school.
Chiron channels.
But airport officials know that many of you may have already planned
We're about to
a
add
trip
2 of
during
them.
that time period, so they want you to know
Stand by SOT and B.
what will happen next.
Track B.
Some of the airlines at this point, you'll start seeing in the next week where it's being removed from the
All right,
airline
continue
system.
VO now to a split. How much time do you want for
If you have
Emily?
already booked a trip,
Right.
a lot of times the airlines
You'll be on
already
3
reached out
next.
to you at this point, or they probably will be reaching out.
All right, you can put a minute on the PDQ, please.
If you want to act sooner, you certainly by all means can contact your airline
1 minute.
directly right now to get that refund.
And Mike Larry.
Officials say all airport runway work will be completed in the 72-hour
Stand by for
window
split.
that has been promised.
Splits up.
Well, if you look to the skies today,
Stand by
you might have
CG3
noticed
to
more
Emily.
sunshine this afternoon, and we even warmed up just ever so slightly.
But more showers are on the way. Storm tracker meteorologist Emily Goodman is keeping an eye on your
Hit it.
forecast and joins us now with the latest.
And she's up.
And a really
CG3 is
good
clear.
sunshine had stuck around a little bit longer, but as you can see, the clouds have returned and thickened up quite a bit in the past couple of hours. That's because we're anticipating, as Larry said, another round of showers.
All right, so we'll be out to a split to go to a triple box.
Right now we're at 60 degrees.
And then we'll go to Catherine full, and then we'll have a,
After topping out the
is it
high
a
of
2x2?
63, so earlier for us,
All right.
maybe get up another
All right, just making
degree,
sure.
so that was the
And then
case.
we'll have a 2x2 with a question and answer between Angie and Angie and Catherine.
Pick back up again. We have 66 degrees in Richmond, 62 in London, is 60 in Lexington, 63 in Danville. A little bit cooler over in E-Town. That's because they've had some rain showers moving through, which means rain-cooled air. Which is why they're in the low 50s right now. So MaxTrack Live Doppler showing that line heading our direction. It has a history of producing some strong storms, even a couple of severe thunderstorms. Notice though we're still a couple of hours away from that. So as it closer to the nighttime, that's when we'll begin to see that line heading our direction. Even a couple of tornado warnings associated with that line. It looks like Tennessee has dropped the watch, so that's good news. We'll talk about exactly
Stand by
when
for
this line will
split.
be here and how long it will last.
And splits
we'll
up.
see you soon. Well, there's a new date for many people to
Going
look
to triple
forward
box.
to. Memorial Day weekend. That's when Governor Andy Beshear says capacity limits will be eased.
He says that there will be less risk or restrictions for what Kentuckians can and cannot do once students have finished out the school year. Evening Edition's Catherine Collins
Triples
is live
up.
in Frankfurt now.
Stand by
to break
CG3.
down the details of these changes.
Hit it. And Q Catherine, she is up.
Well, Larry, Angie, Memorial
CG3
Day
is clear.
weekend is an important one for businesses, and now we
We'll go to
know that's
VOC.
when more
All right, you should
people
be able to give me a
will
2
be
by
able to
2
gather
now.
inside places
Thank you.
like bars and restaurants. Starting May 28th,
VOC.
indoor and outdoor gatherings of fewer than 1,000 people can allow 75% capacity, while events of 1,000 people or more can increase to 60% capacity. Also today, Governor
Right.
Beshear announced that
Thank you. I was
masks will
actually
no
about to ask
longer
for
be
that, Jake.
required for small indoor
Thank you
groups
so
of
much.
people at private gatherings or business meetings,
Alright,
but that's
so
as long as
we'll have a
everyone
Sot
is
and D
vaccinated.
next.
I asked the governor why Memorial Day weekend was the right time for this change.
Track D.
The overall risk for what we can and can't do decreases.
Alright, so we'll be back to Katie, and then we'll go to a 2 by 2 with her and
To
Angie.
me, and to this administration, that's a big piece of it, because we pledged that we would get our kids back in school and keep them in school until the end of the year.
And Q Katie, she's up.
The governor says he's also watching for the availability of the Pfizer vaccine for ages 12 to 15-year-olds. He says that authorization could come from the FDA as early as next week. We'll send it back to you.
All right,
Alright.
Catherine, thanks.
2 by 2's
The
up.
governor talked about Kentucky's economy today. So what's his outlook as we head into the summer?
Thank you for that.
Yeah, that's right, Angie. In his view, he says Kentucky's economy is heating up. That's actually the exact words he used. He says in April...
Oh, is that for the next story?
logged
That lower
the
third?
highest-
I think it is.
Excuse me. Kentucky had a
Thank you.
record-breaking month
Right.
for the sales tax.
Catherine's up
He
full.
says that's a sign Kentuckians are getting out there shopping and feeling good about the future. I'm in Frankfurt. Catherine Collins.
Camera
Evening
full.
Edition.
Camera
All right,
forward.
Catherine, thanks so much.
Camera 4.
Well, it is no secret COVID-19.
All right, you can just hang on that
vaccine
monitor.
rates have slowed down here in Kentucky.
Going to
Long
VOA.
lines to get the shot
VOA.
have disappeared. Some
Still
vaccine
story
clinics are
relevant.
even
So
shut
Sot and B
down
will be
because of
next.
lack of demand.
Thank you, Jake. Thank you so much.
It's something that is concerning to public health experts because they believe that herd immunity is now on the line. Senator Mitch McConnell echoed that concern this week, but Kentucky's other senator, Dr. Rand Paul, says that he is not too concerned. He believes a lot of the high-risk population has been vaccinated. He says if Kentucky wants more people to get the shot, the state should get the vaccine in the hands of family doctors.
Track B.
If you want to convince
Alright,
them,
continue VO, then
you
out
can
to a
either beat
split.
them over the head and put them in jail, which I'm not in favor of, or you could give the medicine, the
And you'll be on
vaccine,
3
to their
next.
local doctor, and when they go in, maybe if they've been seeing their local doctor for 10 or 20 years, they'll say, well, you know, maybe I should listen to the advice of my local doctor.
And
This
Micah.
afternoon, Governor Beshear
Alright, stand by
said
for
that
split.
step is in the process of happening. He also added waste at local offices is a concern because once you open a vial, you do have a limited amount of time to use it.
And splits
As
up.
part of our commitment to the Rebound Kentucky,
Alright,
LAX
stand by
18
CG3
wants
to package and
manage
C.
the pressures everyone is facing. And part of that includes holding people in power accountable.
Lieutenant Governor Jacqueline Coleman made several stops in Lexington today, one of them to help fill up empty vaccination clinics. Evening Edition's Lee Searcy had some important questions for her about unemployment and if she helps
Hit it.
her friends get their benefits faster.
Track C.
The lieutenant governor visited this
CG3 is
pop-up clinic at
clear.
the Lexington Senior
Alright,
Center,
we'll have a split next for the
greeting those
T's.
working it and the few in line to get vaccinated. Kentucky is still a long way
Alright,
from
standard
opening
out
up
to you here.
entirely, much to the dismay of some lawmakers who've balked at the governor's mandates since day one.
It's our responsibility as leaders to lead by example. And right now what we're asking people to do is wear masks and get the vaccine.
While Coleman Coleman was here to promote vaccinations, we had questions about those text messages she sent last year. The ones asking the then head of the Office of Unemployment Insurance to help people she knew with their claims, including her hairdresser. Two of them read, "Hey guys, I need someone to reach out to a couple people. One of the people who needs help does my hair, so we obviously need to take care of her." While tens of thousands of Kentuckians waited for checks that never came, the people she mentioned got help.
Speaking of leading by example, I know that you took some heat over unemployment.
1 minute.
Making calls on behalf of some people you know. Any regrets over that? Because there are some who believe that.
I'm sorry, I barely heard you, Jake.
I called every single person that reached out to me
Oh.
about unemployment insurance, whether I knew them or not. And I'll tell you, I knew a lot fewer people than I did know.
Coleman has
Oh, yeah,
no
I can see that
regrets.
now.
She says as an elected official, it's her job to help people in need.
No one got special treatment. Everyone who reached out to me got the help that I could get them at the time.
How many people did you help?
I would be willing to guess it was thousands.
Thousands of people? So you texted them like you did on behalf of your hairdresser and people?
Whatever mode of communication. The emails are endless.
Can you see how some people think that looked bad?
Well, the way it was written, it did. If you pull out certain text messages and only
10 away.
report on those, then
Stand by for
then it
split.
looks bad.
Coleman says she'll continue to help anyone who reaches out to her, whether she knows them or not. In Lexington, Lee Searcy, Evening Edition.
Splits up.
Still to come on Evening Edition.
Going to
with mere
VOD.
months to go until the Olympics. How Pfizer is stepping up to get athletes vaccinated.
Plus,
VOD.
prepare to pay up if
Stand
you
by,
buy a new
Saturday.
home, driving up prices and when potential home buyers could see relief.
And track A.
Hey, surprise, surprise. Kentucky has a couple of assistant coaches you've probably heard of before since we've talked about
very
it for
well
quite a
kept
bit.
secret.
Orlando Antigua and Chin Coleman are now officially with the Wildcats.
That's right, and they're not the only ones.
Stand by to go to break.
The newest transfer for Kentucky has been to Rupp Arena a few times. We'll go over all of that tonight.
2, 1, and go to break.